Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Para and welcome back to another video. Yes, you guessed it, we've also been playing the Black Ops 6 Early Access Beta. My apologies for the late gameplays. My internet connection has been a little bit bad off and on stream, so it's been a little rough to get gameplays considering every single game I pretty much get into, it's quite laggy. I don't know if that's just a beta or my internet or a mix of both. I'm pretty sure it's a mix of both considering my upload's been terrible lately. The timing couldn't be worse considering the beta just dropped on Friday. So I'm hoping the secondary beta that's coming out this Friday is going to be a little bit better for us in terms of internet connection because it's usually not this bad. So obviously if you haven't been playing by now or haven't been watching, pretty much the PDW runs the game altogether right now in terms of guns. I did try this gameplay to use other guns besides the PDW, but with the rough connection on top of SBMM, I pretty much had to end up switching to the PDW a little bit later into the game. We did end up getting more gameplays with other guns besides the PDW, but we're gonna save this for another video. Now, Black Ops 6, Black Ops 6, Black Ops 6. Now, I think the question is this gonna be a Call of Duty where by the end of the beta, everyone pretty much hates it and they're pretty much gonna not play the game altogether? Now, honestly, I'm pretty impressed. The game actually feels really great. I'm not getting sponsored, hashtag ad, flown to any events or anything like that. So when it comes to my opinion, it's purely about how I feel about the game. And this is coming from somebody that has taken a break from COD for the last couple years. Now, obviously the guns are kind of broken right now in terms of the PDW, but I think that kind of happens in most Black Ops. I'm pretty sure from back in the day as well. It comes down to the SMGs have always been incredibly strong. Those can obviously be balanced, it's not a big deal, but at the end of the day, most of the time in every Call of Duty, there's always going to be stronger guns than other guns anyways, and there's always going to be a top gun that most people use for the meta. Yeah, it can be kind of a bummer, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really ruin the game for me overall, because if they do end up patching the gun, it ends up not being that great, and then another gun ends up being good, so at least the game's meta is always going to end up changing whenever they do updates. In terms of the guns themselves, I really don't feel like there's a lot of recoil in a lot of them. Now, I don't know if that's because there's so many pros instead of cons when it comes to the attachments currently. I don't know if they're going to change that in the actual game itself. So right now, it seems like everyone has a beamer. But at the end of the day, that also doesn't bother me because I always prefer Call of Duty arcade shooters as opposed to the more realism effect. If I wanted to go play realism, I would just go play Battlefield. I also might be a little biased about liking the game as well, just because I was a big fan of Cold War personally, being the top 38 global person that I was on the leaderboards, and it being pretty much the last Call of Duty that I pretty much played. For me, Black Ops 6 might be a little bit more enjoyable for someone that actually liked Cold War as opposed to someone who may not have liked Cold War itself. Now, even though the PDW is incredibly strong right now, I'm pretty sure in the second beta they're coming out with the Tonto, which is what we've seen in COD Next, and that gun looked incredibly gross. I'm pretty sure it was like a 2-shot, so I think it's even stronger than the PDW. So honestly, the PDW might not even be used next beta. In terms of the kill streaks, we really don't have much to even go by. We have a personal UAV, a counter UAV, the RCXD, the chopper, and I believe the Hellstorm. That really doesn't give us much to go by, especially as someone that plays pubs. The chopper isn't so bad. I do like the idea of when it actually crashes into the map, it actually kills people. I think that's pretty sick. But as of right now, the kill streaks don't seem too strong, so it's okay. I am hoping to see some of the kill streaks that might be stronger though. Something more like the Wraps from BO3. Those just kind of felt super rewarding when you ended up getting like a high-end kill streak. It may not be the same flow because I know we have that spawn protector thing with those shields and you can't kill them off the rip, but it would still feel rewarding that your kill streaks actually reflect on how well you're doing in the game. Now we'll see for the guns optics. I'm not actually a big fan. So far from what I can tell and everything I'm looking at, they kind of seem really bulky. Maybe I need to unlock a little bit more of them, but for me personally, I've always enjoyed the Evo sights, the smaller ones, but right now from what I can tell, they don't really have a lot of those, so I personally just been using the iron sights, but thankfully the iron sights are actually really fun to use. I will say the PDW that comes with the special edition is a little bit better in my opinion than the default one. The iron sight for that one seems way better than the default one. Sort of like how in Apex is the R99 that has special skins for the iron sight that are just way better than the rest of them. But overall in terms of the gunplay, even though the PDW is the best gun in the game pretty much right now, I think the gunplay is actually incredibly good when it comes to Black Ops 6. The Omni movement, I actually can't get over how good it actually feels. Now right off the bat, now playing Call of Duty for a long time, then coming to MW3, then switching over to Black Ops 6 was kind of rough, and the Omni movement kind of felt really weird off the bat. If you change your settings and playing a couple games, it's actually quite smooth and you actually really start to enjoy it. I think this is one of the best movement changes they can do without going to jetpacks. We've had dolphin diving in the game before, but they made it to where it actually syncs well with fast-paced gameplay instead of making you feel sluggish in these gunfights. And judging from all the YouTube videos, the comments, the Twitch streams that I've been checking out and watching, it seems for the most part, everyone's enjoying the Omni movement too. And not even just the Omni movement, but COD itself. The atmosphere overall when it comes to everybody enjoying COD this year, it seems so much more different than every other year. Usually for the most part, it's kind of half and half, or there's a big overwhelming bearing of just hate. But from what I can tell, it seems everyone's kind of on the same page and liking all the changes that they've been doing. Now, of course, you're gonna have the people that always complain about how it looks the same, how it doesn't look different, but I don't think a lot of people understand that this is actually a sequel to Cold War. So of course the game's gonna be more relevant to that game and the way it looks, which again, I don't really think is a bad thing. At the end of the day, they're still making COD for previous generational consoles, which is pretty much why a lot of games are held back, including COD. But honestly, I don't even think COD has to change that much. As long as there's little changes here and there when it comes to COD and it's pointed in the right direction every year, as well as having good maps and good gunplay, I think that's more than totally fine. Overall, from what I can tell, unless they change a bunch of stuff in the beta, which I guess they actually kind of do sometimes, then it kind of ruins the game itself when it actually releases. But if they keep staying on track with how the beta is, I honestly think we're in for such a good COD this year. Truthfully, I'm honestly excited to see how well everyone's gonna do with the movement in like 3 to 4 months, because this kind of movement definitely allows for people to excel in the game. Overall, when my internet connection's not acting up, I'm excited to get on the game and play. And it seems like the majority of people playing the beta are like that as well. Overall, from my personal experience, besides the lag that I'm getting from my own personal connection, I give this COD like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I think this is the COD we needed, and I'm excited for the future. Not only for the game, but for the content we're going to be making as well. Once we get this better connection, we're going to be able to put out content to our full capacity.
And I can't wait.
Either way though, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you guys enjoyed Black Ops 6 the beta as well, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.